We stand at this peculiar moment in history where we have access to more information than any civilization has ever possessed, and yet we're becoming demonstrably more stupid. Not stupid in the sense of lacking data, oh no, we're drowning in data, but stupid in the way that matters most. We've lost the ability to think, to truly think. We've traded wisdom for Wikipedia, contemplation for content, and the examined life for the algorithmic life. The great tragedy isn't that we're ignorant. It's that we've convinced ourselves that scrolling is scholarship, that having an opinion is the same as having understanding, and that the fever dream of social media constitutes genuine human connection. We are, to put it bluntly, experiencing a catastrophic failure of consciousness itself. Let me tell you something that should terrify you. There are algorithms right now, in this very moment, that know you better than you know yourself. And I don't mean this metaphorically. I mean there are mathematical constructs, probability engines, prediction machines that have mapped the topography of your desires, your weaknesses, your compulsions with greater precision than you've ever achieved through self-reflection. And what are these machines doing with this godlike knowledge? They're using it to turn you into a dopamine-addicted puppet, dancing on strings you can't even see. The architecture of modern digital life is not designed to enlighten you. It's designed to addict you. Every scroll, every swipe, every notification is a carefully calibrated injection of neurochemical reward. You think you're choosing what to watch, what to read, what to think about. Please, you're being farmed. Your attention is the crop, and you're being harvested 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And here's the really sinister part. This isn't making you stupid by accident. The stupidity is the point. A thoughtful, contemplative, self-aware human being is a terrible consumer. They ask questions. They delay gratification. They might actually stop and wonder whether they need that thing, whether they believe that narrative, whether they should really be spending their finite existence watching strangers perform their lives for algorithmic approval, but are distracted, anxious, perpetually stimulated human. Now that's a beautiful consumer. That's someone who will click, buy, believe, repeat. That's someone whose critical faculties have been systematically dismantled and replaced with reflexes and reactions. We've done something unprecedented in human history. We've created an entire civilization based on the systematic destruction of attention. Think about that. Every spiritual tradition, every wisdom teaching, every profound philosophy has pointed toward attention as the fundamental currency of consciousness. Where attention goes, energy flows, the Buddhists tell us. The kingdom of heaven is within, says the Christian mystic, and the key to finding it is focused awareness. And what have we done? We've built a $1 trillion infrastructure dedicated to fragmenting, fracturing, and obliterating human attention. The average person now has an attention span shorter than a goldfish. 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Do you understand what this means? This means we can't read a book anymore. Not really read it, get lost in it, let it change us. This means we can't sit with an idea long enough for it to develop, to complexify, to reveal its hidden dimensions. We've traded depth for breadth, and in doing so, we've made ourselves shallow. We know a little bit about everything and nothing about anything. We're drowning in information, but starving for wisdom. We've confused the map for the territory so thoroughly that we've forgotten the territory exists at all. I watch people, and maybe you've noticed this too, who can't sit still for 30 seconds without reaching for their phone. They're at dinner with friends, phone on the table, they're watching a movie, phone in hand, they're having sex for God's sake, and part of their mind is wondering what's happening on Instagram. This isn't distraction anymore, this is dissociation. This is a civilization-wide fracturing of presence itself. Here's a particularly vicious aspect of our modern stupidity. We've never felt smarter. This is the cruel joke. Previous eras of ignorance, at least, had the dignity of knowing they were ignorant. They knew there were things they didn't know. They had epistemological humility. But us, we've got Google, we've got Wikipedia, we've got YouTube videos that can teach us anything in 15 minutes. And so we've developed this catastrophic delusion that having access to information is the same as understanding information. That being able to look something up is the same as knowing it. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect on societal steroids. We're all experts now. We've all done our research, which means we've scrolled through some blog posts and watched a couple of videos that confirmed what we already believed. We've mistaken the ability to retrieve information for the capacity to think about information critically, to synthesize it, to understand its context and limitations, and social media has weaponized this tendency. It's created billions of mini-experts, each one absolutely convinced of their own correctness, each one utterly unable to hold complexity or entertain contradiction. Everyone's got a take. Everyone's got an opinion. And these opinions aren't formed through study, contemplation, or genuine inquiry. They're formed through tribal affiliation and algorithmic reinforcement. You pick your tribe, and the algorithm feeds you information that makes your tribe feel right, and the other tribes feel wrong. And you never have to encounter a challenging idea again. You never have to sit with uncertainty. You never have to experience the profound discomfort of changing your mind. Now let me get really uncomfortable here. What's happening to us isn't just an external assault on our attention and cognition. It's deeper than that. We're witnessing the colonization of the unconscious itself. Your dreams used to be yours. Your thoughts when you woke in the morning used to belong to you. But now you wake up, and the first thing you do is check your phone. Before you even had a conscious thought that's truly yours, you're downloading someone else's agenda into your mind. The news, the outrage, the carefully crafted narratives, the advertising, it all gets pumped directly into your consciousness before you've even had your coffee. This is psychological warfare, and we're losing the intimate territory of your own mind. The space where you used to be able to think your own thoughts has been invaded by a million voices, a million claims on your attention, a million little hooks trying to drag you away from yourself. And the really horrifying thing, we're doing it voluntarily. We're paying for the devices. We're downloading the apps. We're opting into our own colonization. We become willing participants in the dismantling of our own consciousness. The human unconscious used to be populated by archetypes, by dreams, by the deep symbolic material that connects us to something larger than ourselves. Now it's populated by jingles, brand logos, and the faces of influencers. We've turned the sacred temple of consciousness into a shopping mall. Every culture in history has had mechanisms for creating meaning. Rituals, ceremonies, rites of passage, mythological frameworks. These were the technologies by which humans transformed raw experience into meaningful narrative. They were how we made sense of suffering, of joy, of the mystery of existence itself. We've systematically dismantled all of that. We've declared it superstition, irrationality, primitive thinking. And what have we replaced it with? Netflix, Instagram, the ersatz cheap, mass-produced pseudo-meanings of consumer culture. And here's what we've discovered. You can't actually eliminate the human need for meaning. You can only provide substitutes. And when you provide cheap substitutes for profound needs, you create pathology. So people are creating meaning through conspiracy theories, through political tribalism, through identifying with brands and celebrities, through parasocial relationships with YouTubers. These are cargo cult versions of genuine meaning. They have the external form, but none of the substance. And this makes us stupid in a very particular way. It makes us unable to distinguish between real meaning and simulated meaning. We've lost the capacity to tell the difference between genuine spiritual experience and the emotional manipulation of a well-edited video, between authentic community and the hollow performance of connection on social media, between wisdom and aphorisms, between transformation and entertainment. Language is the operating system of human consciousness. It's not just how we communicate, it's how we think. And though we're watching language itself decompose in real time, we've reduced complex thoughts to emojis, nuanced arguments to sound bites, profound ideas to hashtags. We're communicating in memes and GIFs, in reaction images and abbreviations. And this isn't just a change in style, it's a change in what we're capable of thinking. You cannot have complex thoughts without complex language. You cannot hold paradox and ambiguity without linguistic structures that can contain them. And we're systematically destroying those structures. We're simplifying, reducing, abbreviating ourselves into imbecility. Look at political discourse. Look at how we talk about anything remotely complicated. It's all binary now, all reductive, all sloganeering, good guys and bad guys, right and wrong. The entire beautiful, terrifying complexity of human existence reduced to teams and tribes, us and them, thumbs up or thumbs down. This is linguistic impoverishment, leading to cognitive impoverishment. We're literally making ourselves stupider by degrading the tools we use to think. Social media has created a culture of performance that's eating us alive. Everyone's curating their life, presenting a carefully edited version of themselves to the world. And this isn't just vanity. This is a fundamental reorientation of consciousness. Instead of experiencing your life, you're constantly thinking about how your life will play to an audience. Instead of being present in the moment, you're framing the moment for Instagram. Instead of having experiences, you're having experiences that can be posted. This creates a kind of hall of mirrors consciousness, where you're no longer sure what's authentic and what's performance. You're not even sure there's a difference anymore. Your sense of self becomes completely externalized, dependent on likes and comments and shares. You become a brand, a persona, a character in your own life story, rather than the author of it. And this makes us stupid because it completely eliminates the possibility of genuine self-reflection. How can you know yourself when the self you're presenting is a carefully curated fiction? How can you grow when every change has to be publicly performed and validated? We've created a culture where vulnerability is a marketing strategy and authenticity is a brand, and in doing so, we've made genuine self-knowledge nearly impossible. We used to remember things. We used to know phone numbers, addresses, facts, stories. And this wasn't just about having information. It was about how having that information in your head created connections, sparked associations, enabled creative thinking. Now we outsource everything to devices. We don't remember, we Google, we don't know, we look up, and we think this makes us smarter because we have access to more information. But it's actually making us stupider because we're losing the cognitive infrastructure that makes thinking possible. When you know things, when they're actually in your head, you can combine them in novel ways. You can notice patterns. You can make creative leaps. But when everything is externalized, when all knowledge is just a search query away, you lose that capacity. You become dependent on the machine, not just for information, but for thought itself. And it goes beyond memory. We're outsourcing navigation to GPS, so we lose our spatial reasoning. We're outsourcing writing to autocorrect, so we lose spelling and grammar. We're outsourcing calculators, so we lose numeracy. We're systematically atrophying every cognitive capacity we possess in favor of convenience. We're not becoming cyborgs, we're becoming prosthetic beings, utterly dependent on our devices to perform the basic functions of consciousness. There used to be boredom. There used to be moments of nothing happening, of waiting, of empty time, and in those moments something crucial occurred. You were forced to be with yourself, to sit with your thoughts, to let your mind wander and wonder. Those moments are gone now. Every second of potential emptiness is immediately filled. Waiting in line? Check your phone. Commuting? Podcast or music? Lying in bed? Scroll. We've eliminated every gap, every pause, every moment of potential contemplation. And this is catastrophic because it's in those gaps that genuine thinking happens. It's in boredom that creativity emerges. It's in emptiness that insight arises. The great ideas, the profound realizations, the creative breakthroughs. They don't come from constant stimulation. They come from space, from silence, from allowing the mind to settle and see what emerges. But we've declared war on silence, on space, on emptiness. We filled every moment with noise, with content, with stimulation, and in doing so, we've eliminated the conditions necessary for wisdom. We're spending more and more of our lives in simulation, in screens, in virtual spaces, in mediated, filtered, algorithmic versions of reality. And we're starting to prefer the simulation to the thing itself. People would rather scroll through pictures of nature than walk in nature, rather watch cooking videos than cook, rather see life through a screen than live it directly. The simulation is more stimulating, more colorful, more perfectly edited than messy, complicated, difficult reality. And this is perhaps the ultimate stupidity, mistaking the map for the territory so completely that we abandon the territory altogether. We're losing touch with unmediated reality, with the actual textures, smells, feelings, complexity of direct experience. We're becoming ghosts haunting our own lives, experiencing everything secondhand through devices. This makes us stupid about what's real, about what matters, about what it means to be alive in a body on a planet for a finite amount of time. We're trading the irreplaceable, unrepeatable miracle of direct experience for endless, scrollable content. And we can't even see the tragedy of what we're losing. So what do we do? How do we resist this tide of manufactured stupidity? How do we reclaim our consciousness from the machines that are farming it? It starts with attention, with learning to focus again, with reclaiming the ability to be present with one thing, one thought, one moment. It means turning off the devices, not forever, but regularly, creating sacred spaces of silence and boredom. It means reading books again, real books, long-form, complex, demanding books that force you to think. It means having conversations, actual conversations, not text exchanges where you sit with another human and navigate the beautiful, messy complexity of genuine communication. Most importantly, it means remembering that your consciousness is not a renewable resource. Every moment you give to the algorithm is a moment you don't get back. Every hour spent scrolling is an hour you could have spent creating, thinking, loving, being truly alive. The great work of our time is not technological, it's psychological. It's the reclamation of our own minds from the forces that would colonize them. And that work begins now with you in this moment. Wake up.